Hello, BookTube. I've got some mail for you today on what you can already tell is a deeply overcast, rain-threatening day. That's the look the little bean has when her mortal enemy, rain, is anywhere nearby. And I think that not only is rain nearby, but that buckets of it are coming tonight. So we don't know what the evening walks will be like. No idea. She can tell already, and she's not happy at all. But we'll start off with a periodical, the TLS. Always a pleasure to get the TLS in the mail. This is the London Times Literary Supplement, the greatest literary journal in the world. And ordinarily, I would have fun reading to you the fights and squabbles that are happening in the letters page. But the letters page of this particular issue of the TLS was so petty. I mean, ordinarily, the pettiness is fun. Ordinarily, we can laugh at it. But in this case, the points brought up by academics in various letters from various parts of the Western world about how I believe the author got this detail wrong. In this case, the details were so petty that I don't want to share them with you. I didn't want to share them with myself. But then we have a pile of packages here, and the first one, I think, comes from one of you. It doesn't look like a publisher envelope. I don't think I'm expecting anything until later in the week. But let's see. One of you has broken rule number 1, which is not to send me a book. Don't send me a book. What can this be? Let's get rid of the mess here. Oh, okay. This is the book I was expecting later in the week. It got to me early. This is by Richard Lord Acton, and it's A Brit Among the Hawkeyes. And this is a memoir that I completely missed, and one of you out there was nice enough to send it to me. What have we got here? What's that, baby? Huh? What's that? Huh? You've never seen Iowa, and you're never going to see Iowa. No, you aren't. Let's see here. Since his marriage to an Iowan 10 years ago, Richard Lord Acton has divided his time between England and Iowa. Much of his American life is spent writing the historical studies and whimsical observations of the world around him that have endeared him to Iowans. This collection of Acton's essays reflects the rich diversity of the author's interests and experiences. The first chapter, Finding Myself in Iowa, concerns the author's attempt to discover what on earth he was doing in the heartland of America and his growing affection for his adopted state. Show me many people who end up in Iowa for one reason or another and don't have a growing affection for the place. I don't think there are many. London Bridges describes something of the other half of the author's life in the greatest city in the world, obviously referring to London, when of course the right holder of that title is Boston. Other chapters invoke a Southern African childhood, surprises in the House of Lords, fascinating fragments of Iowa's past, and why power tends to corrupt, as a famous ancestor of his. Okay, well, fantastic. I would never have gotten this thing on my own, so to the sender, thank you very much. That's wonderful. That goes right on the reading pile. Then we have, got a bunch of these white envelopes. Let's see here what this first one is. I, of course, also want to recommend, I know I do this, I probably don't do it too often, but I want to recommend it if you're in a mail watching mood, in the mood to enjoy people's mail vicariously. Keep in mind, Mailbag Mondays over on Thomas's channel, SFF 180. It's all science fiction and fantasy, but you have another person opening the latest cullings from the publishing world. Who knows what items might come up on his channel that don't come up on mine. He's much better connected in the world of science fiction and fantasy than I am. That you might want to put on your TBR. Who knows? I'll try to remember to leave a link to his channel. Well worth it to do. Oh, great. Oh, fantastic. All right. This next one is a finished copy. Oh, how pretty. Oh, my. This comes out this month. And this is something we've seen on this channel before. I've recommended it already. I'll recommend it again now, gladly. Lovely thing. Boy, the finished copy is beautiful. This is After the Romanovs by Helen Rappaport. And this is Russian exiles in Paris from the Belle Epoque through evolution and war. And it details the lives of Russian refugees fleeing to Paris and other places, but mostly Paris, from the October Revolution and from the fall of the Romanovs. What kind of lives did they make in Paris? You have everything from the stereotypical story of former princes driving taxi cabs all the way up to world-famous intellectuals who tried to find their own intellectual brethren in the city. I don't want to block the beam here. Very happy to have this. And also this, I mean, this finished copy is very lovely, and it also has a period map of Paris as the end papers. Just great. Just fantastic. That kind of care is well warranted in this case because this is terrific. Let's see what we have to say here. Paris has always been a city of cultural excellence, fine wine and food, and the latest fashions. But it has also been a place of refuge for those fleeing persecution, never more so than before and after the Russian Revolution and the fall of the Romanov dynasty. Arriving in Paris, former princes could be seen driving taxicabs, yet while their wives who could sew worked at fashion houses. Their unique Russian style serving as inspiration for designers like Coco Chanel, talented intellectuals, artists, poets, philosophers, and writers struggled in exile, barely making a living at menial jobs. Some, like Chagall or Stravinsky, encountered great success in the same Paris that welcomed Americans like Fitzgerald and Hemingway. Political activists sought to overthrow the Bolshevik regime from afar, while double agents plotted espionage and assassination from both sides. And all of that story is told just so wonderfully here that I cannot recommend the book strongly enough. Oh, I was locking the beam. All right. Well, I'm a little bit surprised that she wants to look out her window at all, because all she's got to look at is rain. Or it's not actually raining at the moment, but it's coming. It's threatening rain. I will do another one of these gigantic white envelopes here. I'm hoping that this, like After the Romanovs, is a finished copy of a March book. That would be great. I want finished copies of March books. What have we got here? Is that what this is? Yes, this is a finished copy of Olive Blake's book, The Atlas Six. And the subscription there is Knowledge is Carnage, which ought to give you an idea about what this is like. This is new from the folks at Tor. Pretty ironic that I would mention that Thomas is, for instance, much better connected science fiction and fantasy, and then I get a Tor book. That doesn't happen as often with me. They don't leave anything out with him, and why would they? Why would any science fiction or fantasy publishing outfit not send him things? I mean, he's got a dedicated following, thousands and thousands of sci-fi and fantasy fans who watch his channel just for that. So it's in their best interest. Let's see what we have here. I don't think we saw I have the advanced copy of this, but I don't think we saw it. The date on this is March the 1st, so this is out already. The Alexandrian Society, caretakers of lost knowledge from the greatest civilizations of antiquity, are the foremost secret society of magical academicians in the world. Each decade, only the 6 most uniquely talented magicians are selected to be considered for initiation. Okay, several things wrong there. We're going to bow right on because the author is having fun. So we'll just touch on them lightly. First of all, no knowledge of the ancient world is any better than knowledge of the present day. A small school child, your 4th grade student, knows more than the wisest, smartest person in the ancient world. Because it's ancient doesn't mean it's ancient with a capital A, crackling, dusty old manuscripts that have hidden wisdom in them. There's no hidden wisdom in the ancient world. None whatsoever. And also, the 6 most uniquely talented magicians. Unique is absolute as an adjective. You're not unique in grades. You're not somewhat unique, or mostly unique. You're either unique or you're not. It's an absolute thing. Am I blocking the baby? I am. Oh, goodness. Sorry, book 2. Good Lord. I'll get used to this eventually. But anyway, the author's having fun, so we'll just barrel right along. Enter the latest round of 6, recruited by the mysterious Atlas Blakely. They are told they will have only 1 year to qualify for initiation. Will the book explain why? Or is it just going to put up a fence work of why there are no adults, why there are strict clans that can't talk to each other, why you have only a year, why you can do this, why you can do that? We'll explain why. Or is it just YA that's playing into the fact that high schools are surrounded all over the place by rules? We'll see. We'll find out when we read the book. During which time they will be permitted preliminary access to the Society's live archives and judged based on their contributions to various subjects of impossibility: time and space, luck and thought, life and death. Okay, none of those subjects are impossible. 5, they are told, will be initiated. 1 will be eliminated. Why? Will we be told why? That's what I want to know here, because on most YA things like this, Hidden Academy, mean teachers who turn out to have hearts of gold, one teacher who turns out to be the enemy, everything driven by romantic attachments or the lack thereof, groups that can't talk to each other. In almost every YA book that sets out like that, I don't ever get answers to why. It just is that way. And if you can say at any point it just is that way, as an author, you are giving up on your job. You're leaving the table. But maybe this author won't. The 6 potential initiates will fight to survive the next year of their lives, and if they can prove themselves to be the best among their rivals, most of them will. Most of them. Okay. Okay, so 5 will be initiated, 1 will be eliminated. Okay. All right. But, okay. To see if they can prove themselves to be the best among their rivals. Most of them will. Most of them, yes. One of them won't. You've already told us that. All right, well, we'll see. We'll see what goes on here. This was just picked up for adaptation by Amazon, which in my less charitable moments, I think is the reason why all writers write today. They don't write at all because of an intermuse. They write because they're hoping for a Netflix deal, which beat out a number of bidders in a deal announced on February 2021. So this author is a millionaire. The book promises to become a global sensation as well as an online one, with over 20 international deals to date. This March, new readers will have the chance to discover why the Atlas 6 has inspired such an enthusiastic fan base, and the fans can't. No. It didn't inspire an enthusiastic fan base because no one's read it yet. That does not explain multiple insane, mindless bidding wars. Mindless bidding wars are explained amongst themselves. They don't have anything to do with the book. They have to do with the fact that you know that someone else bid this. Well, then you're seized up in the Wall Street trading floor mentality, and you just you'll bankrupt your house to beat that. Not because you believe in the book, because it's a thrill, an adrenaline rush on its own. The fan base hasn't formed around this book yet. The fan base doesn't know anything about it yet. But the whole of this paragraph is just, hey, you don't want to miss out, do you? Look at all this money. You don't want to miss out, right? You want to be one of the popular kids. And the fans themselves will be delighted with the new content in this edition, including new art and expanded text with several additional scenes. What does that mean? What on earth does that mean? Is this not the first edition of the book? Much acclaimed viral sensation from Olivier Blake, now newly revised and edited with additional content. No, so it's not the first edition of the book. So, okay, well, I had a sell sheet to tell me about this book. There's been no mention of. I have no idea where this occurred before. There's no mention of it in the pub sheet. Why wouldn't the pub sheet mention something so important about the book? Okay, so do any of you know? This says it's newly revised and edited with additional text added on to what I guess was originally the viral sensation. Where did that take place? Okay, maybe the author's bio will tell us. Olivia Blake, in parentheses, she/her, she's visibly a woman, is the pseudonym for Alexine Farrell Folmuth. No, absolutely not. Alexine Farrell Folmuth might be the pseudonym, but a lover and writer of stories. She has penned several indie SFF projects, including the webtoon Clara and the Devil, and the Book Talk Viral Atlas series. Okay, so the Atlas series was a sensation on Book Talk? Is that what I'm inferring here? She lives in Los Angeles with her husband, new baby, and a rescue pit bull. Oh, good for her. Bless her heart that she rescued a pit bull. Okay, well, obviously I have more questions about this book than I have answers, so I have no... oh, look at that. Look at the end papers. How lovely. Very nice. Not just blank paper. You get the school or the academy or whatever it is. Fantastic. Okay, well, I obviously have to read this right away. I'll read this tonight because I don't know anything about it, and I didn't get the finished copy until a week after the pub date, so... all right, a little bit odd for books. Then we've got this this last package, and then we'll be done. Oh my! Okay, this is taped within an inch of its life. Could this also be from one of you? Let's see if we can do this without destroying the package. We don't want to destroy this. That's the key. That's the main problem with people who overtape things, is that they run the risk of the recipient destroying the package in order to open it. I don't want to destroy the contents here. Usually that's not necessary, though. See, this isn't necessary. You get to know the ways of tape and packaging when you open as many packages as I do. This is a thin, light thing, so it some kind? Let's see. What? Oh yeah, okay. This is definitely from one of you because this is a book within. It's a package within a package. So this is. Let's see what this is. Oh, no. I don't believe this. It's a package within a package within a package. So is this just going to be Matrusha dolls? Is this going to be packages all the way in where I'm never going to actually see? No. Now we have something. It's not a book though. It's no, it's not a book, and it's also not a violation of rule number 1. I ask you, since the Riddler is the new villain in the Batman movie, when is a book not a book? Book 2? When is a book not a book? The answer is it's not a book when it's a library. One of you has heeded my ceaseless call and sent me your old tech. In this case, the Onyx Books Note Air 2. A nice little grip there. You've got the red racing stripe along the ends there. This is an EInk Tablet. So not just an e-reader. This is an EInk Tablet. That you can, it's full size, but it's e-ink, and you can draw on it. There's this side right here, I believe, is magnetized. I don't know if I'm actually getting a pen with this. Oh, I am. Look at that. It comes with an e-ink stylus, so that you can draw on this thing, and you can also draw on documents and annotate them. And it's got this. One of the bezels on the side here is wider than the other. It's got the Books logo there. It's Books with B-O-O-X. It's got the Books logo, but it's also perfect for holding the thing. And it's USB-C. You see on the side there, you've got the power button and USB-C. It's got a USB-C plug, which means that I can transfer books onto this thing right away. And the Onyx Books Note Air 2 supports a million different book formats, a million of them. I have Barnes & Noble Nook, an old Nook, a 10-year-old Nook. It's really nice. It's a smaller device. And because it's a Nook, it will take all sorts of publishing formats. But it's an older device, and it has very little memory. It doesn't hold more than 100 books that I can see, unless there's a way to partition the memory on that thing that I haven't figured out yet. There isn't much in the way of helpful annotation on it because it's so old. This is a solid aluminum chassis, just like that. There's no plastic in it at all. It's all aluminum. Fantastic. And I also have, obviously, an Amazon Kindle. And those are really good as e-readers, although I don't have anything this size. I don't have anything a full page size to read on e-ink. This is my first thing. But Amazon is picky and choosy about what kind of book formats it will take. It won't take EPUB, for instance, which is the near universal e-book format for most books. Whereas this thing will take anything. PDFs, Mobi, EPUB, everything. It will take everything, which means I can start transferring stuff right away. And then one of the neat little design, this is a very well-designed thing. It's very, very thin, and it's got no fuss on any of the edges. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, and only those two things here. This is really going for the Star Trek aesthetic of there being no openings at all. Of it just all handling all by itself. You've got the transfer port there, and you've got the power. But other than that, no, there are no openings on any side here. Oh boy! And that the pen magnetically attaches there, so that if you want it, it's right there to do some sketching. I'm really curious to explore this thing. I will. There's no power cord, but that's all right. I have USB-C. USB-C is kind of the way of the future, so I have USB-C power cords all over the place here. I will charge this up and start to play with it. Oh my, if the sender is watching, thank you so much. I have new tech to play with. Fantastic. And that is when a book is not a book. Because if I handle things correctly, if I portion my time correctly, by this time tomorrow, there'll be 300 books on this thing. And that, including the 2 that I'm working on right now. It'll be great fun to have a pen, to be able to interact that way. I mean, I love ebooks, you all know that. I love annotating them and interacting with them the way ebooks are. But of course, there's an atavistic part of me, there's muscle memory in me that misses interacting with a book with a pen. I do that with print books. I have a pencil in hand at all times. I use that as a term, as a phrase. Well, now I can do that. And I have that muscle memory with this thing. I can't wait to see what it is like as a reading experience. I know that a lot of people use this for sketching. You can even sketch here and command the device to put part of the sketch in color, even though the device can't show you color. You still have the palette for color, so that when you print it out, it will actually render in color, in green or red or anything like that. This is the last step before color e-ink screens that are now flooding the market. This is the last step before them, before you go to them. And this has the Google Play Store. So if I wanted to, I could, watch videos on this thing. But the key thing is that I can check my email and I can check Wikipedia while I'm reading a book. Whereas when I'm reading an ebook on my Amazon Kindle, for instance, it has a perpetually in beta web browser, but it's 5 steps and it's not convenient and it often doesn't work. My Nook, I think, has the same thing, but it's not just right there. And here, I would be able to do that while reading. There would be no reason for me to go to another device. Fantastic. Oh my. All right. Well, great. And this thing comes with a little case for it. It's just, fabric on top of cardboard. That's all. I don't think you're supposed to put the pen in here with this thing. And it doesn't have a spot for it otherwise. Yeah, no, it doesn't. So the pen just is separate. And some instruction material. Fantastic. Oh, man. So a whole new reading experience this might end up being. Fantastic. Oh, no. The pen is actually sticking to the magnet from the device, even through the cover of the case. All right, well, that's a little convenient. Good. I've never actually tried it. I've never tried using an e-ink pen with the little nibs here. I've never actually tried that. Certainly never tried it for sketching. I'm sure that once I get comfortable on this thing, I'm going to want to try sketching on it. I sketch every night. And this would mean no paper. I'd be able to sketch every night without even bothering about it. And who knows what kind of special effects it has. I guess my main question there for that and for any documents that I write would be exportability. How easy is it to get it where I can get at it? We shall see. Oh my, thank you so much. How wonderful. All right, so there's that. And then there are books. We have the Atlas 6. We have After the Romanovs in finished copy. And we have A Brit Among the Hawkeyes. Fantastic. All right, well, lots and lots of fun. And also a couple of demonstrations that I have the absolute best imaginary booktube friends in the world. So I'm immensely grateful for that. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll be back. Thank you, booktube.